It's Wednesday, December 9th, and we're 4 hours into trading. Hello, traders. We've got a little bit of market selling today, but you knew that was coming because I've been telling you that for the last couple of days. Take profits, reduce risk, sell your bullish positions into strength. Those are the types of things that you should have been doing. And most importantly, do not take any new bullish swing positions. If you watch any of my videos over the course of the last 3 days, that theme will be common throughout them. So, what do we do now? We wait for market support, and then we'll have an excellent opportunity to enter trades again. Do I know when that might happen? No, we're going to wait and see. But right now, we're not having to manage losing positions that we've put on during the course of the last couple of days. We're watching the market come in and we're evaluating stocks to see where we might have that strength. So, really kind of scary this morning for people who are long. So, let me give you a feel for what I see on an intraday basis right here. We have the market in a downward sloping channel. You can see it right here. When we had this downward sloping channel, I told members in the chat room, be very careful. This was a support level yesterday. You can see long tails under body. That meant that there was a buyer there or a group of buyers that were supporting the market. I said when that support level fails, which it did right here, that is going to lead to more selling. So we try and get back up above that open there, tails above body, come down and take that low of the day out, and then it's all over. Now we've got sell programs taking control. We are likely to see a bearish trend day. Right here, right now, I believe we're going to start seeing some support. Why? When you have a downward sloping channel like this and you poke through the low end of it, that's usually a selling climax. You'll see an additional blow off here, and then you'll see a long bullish hammer that starts to poke right back into the trading channel. That's what I'm expecting to see. And then perhaps we'll have a series of tests of the low of the day. And then we might have a chance very late in the day to bounce a little bit. But on a day like this, I would not look to buy bounces. The best chance we have is to have a bounce maybe in the last half an hour of trading. So expect persistent selling pressure. You can also see that the 10P indicator right here has been troughing, and that also tells me that we're probably going to see some buying coming in here. I don't know that this is the low of the day. I only know that this should be support coming into play right here. And you can see we had a spike right there in 10P and a little bit of a drop, but it never really got going. It's been staying negative most of the day, which told us that the selling pressure was fairly heavy here. Let's go take a look at that daily chart, and we've got something else that's forming. This is a bearish engulfing candle here. If we finish near the low of the day or where it is right now, you can see how this has encompassed that entire high and low from the previous day. Bearish engulfing pattern typically signals that there is a reversal coming, especially when you see those at an all-time high. As I've been saying, I believe that this upward sloping trend line, which comes into play at about SPY 363, should be tested. That's about a 80-point sell-off from the high. 360 might be another level that we can test. I'll also put up the moving averages here, the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. Those are the only ones that come into play, and you can see how the 20-day is kind of hugging this upward sloping trend line as well. We had all the information we needed. We knew that this was going to result in some selling pressure, bullish sentiment off the charts, market riding the upper end of a 20-day Bollinger Band. No good. We had the market extending up through an upward sloping trend line, also a sign of overheated market action to the upside. So we had lots of reasons to know that the market was going to be pulling back. I hope you've heeded my warning, and I hope that you adjusted your positions and took some profits while we were at the high. Now you're going to be on the sidelines, licking your chops, waiting for support to be established, and then you should have an excellent entry point into year end. Don't go trying to pick bottoms right now. Let's make sure that we have support. This might take a day or two or three for it to play out, but we'll know. And then as soon as we have that support, we can get right back on track and start selling some out of the money bullish put spreads. But we need to make sure that this upward sloping trend line stays intact. That also comes into play with that high right in here around 360. So from 363 to 360 on the SPY, I believe that's where we're going to find support. Let's make sure it's there. Folks, stocks are trading at a PE of 40. By historical measures, super rich. Are things going to get better in Q1? You betcha they are. Once the vaccines get out there, yes, things will be better. I don't know how many people are going to be taking the vaccines. I don't know how quickly they're going to be able to distribute the vaccines. All I know is right now states are shutting down. It's going to hurt an economic recovery. So let the market come in. Let's evaluate. When we have that support, we can go back in with confidence and then ride the next wave higher. So let's take a look at some stocks, see what we've got going. Usually days like this are really good. So again, you're in cash, let's say, and you're just evaluating what's going on in the market. This is when you get your Christmas shopping list together, and you want to be looking for stocks that have relative strength. That's what we do each and every day, regardless if we're day trading or swing trading. The same edge is used every day. So we'll take a look and see what's on the heavy buying list. And here you can see all of these stocks are still up for the day. Go into GS, take a look at that. You can see, yes, nice relative strength. Go into the daily chart. Now, I'm not a big fan of banks. I've got to tell you, I just feel that bank profits, excuse me, this is QS, not GS. So this is an IPO. Stocks had a lot of relative strength. It's been holding up quite well. Go back into that 5-minute chart. Huge spike today. Look at how this opening gap is holding right in here. That is a sign of buying. People want to come in and buy this stock. If not, here's what would happen. So you have this nice breakout here. You got this nice gap. You've got the stock pushing all the way up today to $85 or so. If this were nothing but fluff and this were all just a gigantic head fake, bunch of retail customers coming in and gobbling up shares, then you would see that run up like that, and you would see a hard pullback through that opening price down here and even further down. But that's not happening. Asset managers, the big money, they want in on this one. You can see that because that support is holding. So this would be a stock that you want to watch. If you get that bounce in the last 30 minutes of trading, this would be a nice candidate to day trade on the long side. I don't have enough data on a daily basis to tell you if this is a good stock or a bad stock. I don't know the company. I don't care about the company. I don't track fundamental analysis. I only use technicals. And when I use technicals, that means that I need more data points. So this is not something that I would be swing trading. Don't have enough data for me. If you're a fundamental analyst and you know what this company's going to be doing, maybe it's a buy here. I don't know. I'm just following the technicals. LOW, take a look at the daily chart. You can see downward sloping trend line right there visually. Boom. Really nice big pop on that stock. Put up the major moving averages, see where they come into play. Now, I would not want to buy this stock and swing it until it can get above that 100-day moving average. Once it's able to do that, yes, there might be an opportunity for you. SFIX, earnings after the close, big pop here, able to hold that opening price. Look at it surge today. Yes, this stock wants to go higher. Put up the M5 chart. Look at how well it's been able to hold those gains. It's barely off the high. Let's go back into that 5-minute chart on SPY so we can track what's going on. There you go. There's your long tails underbody. I told you we'd start finding some support in here. I bet you by the time this video is done, we're going to be probably up in this 367.75 level, somewhere in there around that support. So anyway, SFIX, you bet that's a stock that wants to go higher. That's the advantage of not having a bunch of positions on, is you can sit back and you can start looking for opportunities so that once the market finds support, you'll be in. Really nice rally, pretty big pullback, and this is the kind of pullback selling that you would see off of a rally like that if sellers were still pretty aggressive. So, Z, take a look at the daily chart. Yes, this is nice, but you can see why it's backing off. It was just making a new relative high, and there's too much selling pressure across the whole market for it to be able to hold that high. But I bet in the next few days, if the market finds support, you're going to see it right back up to that 120 level. It wants to go higher. Wait and see. This is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this upward sloping trend line right in here. I can grab my alert line, click on that, click on that. There's your upward sloping trend line. Yeah, Z looks really good. I like it. Don't know what to make of this one except that it's gone parabolic and really tough to do any kind of swing trading on this. This I like. This is really nice. So you've got a downward sloping trend line right here. That's the 50-day moving average. Stock has been able to get above the downward sloping trend line. It's holding that 50-day moving average. Let's put up the M5 chart. Look at it hold support. That is fantastic. So this stock also wants to go higher, and this one I do kind of like on a swing basis. Going to continue to click through. Red, holding that opening price right there. You can see it right there, higher than the opening price. That's a good sign on a day like this. Go into that daily chart. Through that resistance right in there, still able to hold that breakout right here. Looks good for right now. That's a very big run. This train has left the station. Okay, this is a retailer, drugstore. They're not finding a cure for cancer or the next electric vehicle or anything earth-shattering like that. So I would be a little bit cautious on a stock that moves like that, especially when you've seen some downward pressure like this in the recent past. So swing trading, no. Day trading, yeah. ALLY bank, one of the strongest banks out there. You can see how this one also, I'm going to ignore some of these tails up here, but it's through that upward sloping trend line right here. Tells me it could be getting a little bit overextended, but looking pretty good. TME, wow. Through that horizontal resistance, super strong today. Doesn't care that the market's selling off like mad. Put up that 5-minute chart, and then you'll be able to see what the stock is doing. Monster run here. That stock went from $18 to $19.50. That's a huge percentage gain. Yes, it gave up some of those gains. Look what it's doing right now. Compress, 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 while the market is down, 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 down. Stock starting to find support. This would be certainly one that I would want to watch, especially from a day trading standpoint. I love that breakout on the D1 chart. So what do I do? What do I do with this information? Do I camp out on the stock and watch it all day? Oh, heck no. I got better things to do with my time, and I'm sure you do too. Click alert, drop that alert line right there. Click alert, drop that alert line right here. That'll give me a couple of shots at it. If the stock starts to recoup with the market moving higher, I'm going to know when it gets through these resistance levels, and then yes, I may want to buy it. That's how we do it. T, AT&T. Look at that day yesterday. You don't see that out of this stock very often. Beautiful. Today, surges higher, able to hold most of the gains. Really nice price action. On this one, we can use a diagonal line. Click on that. Click on that. Now, if it breaks out to the upside, I'm going to get an alert that way. I can also come in and set an alert right there on a horizontal basis. Either one of these two triggers, I might be interested in it. T looks really good. XOM, ExxonMobil. Can see how that stock is through the prior day's high. It's been able to hold its gains pretty well. Go into the daily chart through the 200-day moving average. Yes, looks okay. The stock does not move much. I don't think I looked at that longer term daily chart for T, but you can see how it's through that horizontal resistance level. It's through the 200-day moving average, above all the other major moving averages. So yeah, T looks pretty good on a daily chart also. MO, You can see head and shoulders formation here, neckline there. It's above that. It's above the major moving averages. Choppy, choppy, choppy stock. Philip Morris doesn't go anywhere fast. But is there a day trade in there for us on a day when the market's selling off? Perhaps. You can see how it went up, crested. Now it's starting to lose its relative strength, and we're starting to see some selling pressure. So not as excited about this chart. SRNE, there you can see gap higher, kind of holding that gap higher, going to the daily chart. Take a look at this one. And you can see it's backing off of that 100-day moving average, and that 50-day moving average didn't have enough strength to get through. But I do kind of like the fact that it's above this downward sloping trend line in here. So that's kind of nice. Let's see if we've got anything on Pop Bull. Yeah, Z is in there. We already looked at that one. Letter C is in there. Take one more look at heavy buying, see what we got in here, if there's anything new. Don't see anything new in there right now, but we've seen some really nice stocks in these lists. Take a look at Bull Run, see what we've got in there. ABBV holding its own very, very nicely through that horizontal resistance level, continuing to climb higher. ABBV looks pretty dang good right now. Looks like it wants to go. And you can see how the stock is near the high of the day. Take your alert line, click on that high. I want to know if it breaks out above it, especially if the market starts to recover a little bit. There we go. Didn't get that support that I was looking for. I think these sell programs are starting to really kick in right now. This could be one of those really nasty days that we see in the S&P 500. Bullish sentiment is off the charts. That means that you've got lots of speculators, bullish speculators who are getting flushed out right now. That's what happens when sentiment gets too high. Let's take a look at the VIX. You'll be able to see what I mean. Look at option implied volatilities. They have fallen off the face of the earth. They're down here near historic lows. Put up the VXX. You can see same thing there. Option implied volatility, super, super cheap. As premium sellers, that means that we've got to go very close to the money to sell out of the money bullish put spreads. That means that our risk is elevated. One little market whiff, and you're in trouble. We're not in trouble. We haven't been adding any new bullish put spreads. We added one last week. We didn't add any this week yet. So we're in cash. We're watching our current positions waste away because of time decay. We're safely out of the money on those. And now we're getting the pullback that we need to start looking for new opportunities. That's how you should be trading as well. And I hope that you are able to, sorry about that. I've got a support issue I may need to take care of here. But anyway, that is how we trade, and you have to keep an eye on the market on an ongoing basis. If you're oblivious to what's going on in the market, if you're oblivious to the warning signs, and you're just like a machine cranking out bullish put spreads, you are going to get into trouble on days like this. So I've given you some really nice stocks that seem to be moving really well for us today, and I think I highlighted the ones that I liked. I think Z looked really good. Going to the daily chart, I believe that RKT I really liked. Love that breakout right there. And TME I really liked also. And letter T, AT&T I liked. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, especially if you're taking my advice and reducing risk and it really helped you with your positions right now. Leave me a comment in the message area of the video down below. You can always get my market comments before the open each day by clicking the Twitter link that I have in the description below as well. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you never miss these videos. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.